We'll call this one I'm a Captain Save Her Retiree Part 2. And why. And I want to go in this video and tell you why I became one in the first place. You know, when I was, late in like the late 90s, I was like in my early 20s, and I started to see how great women are. I was like, finally got to understand the meaning of a woman and the meaning of a man. And I thought, and then I started thinking women were God, they're close to God. Basically, I was confused on the design and the structure of a woman, and not for what she was. Now, granted, women are how God designed them in the natural order of things. Great, emotional, beautiful women, and you give them roses and put them on, they should be put on a pedestal, but that ain't the case. That's in my mind. That's in the natural order thing. It's how God designed it. God, you should put the woman should be submissive to the man and everything. That was in my mind when I was going out getting women. I used to had a mentality of how great women are. I was ready to get one, like a lot of us at that age, in our early 20s, in our late teens, early 20s. A lot of them had that nice guy mentality, basically. So, and Jumug Obama talks about this too. So check out Jumug Obama's videos. A lot of people talk about how we had the nice guy mentality, but women at that age obviously want thugs, and they know it. And they just black women. There's a lot of women, period. They like that fast life. Um, but with that said, I wanted to be the guy that the woman would want, and then in a way, I was being a man John. Actually, no, I was a man John. I used to co-sign with a lot of bullshit women, because women always talking about that nigga ain't shit and this and that. And I used to co-sign a lot of bullshit. And I was a classic simp. I was a simp and a man John. I was taking care of some other niggas' kids, and then I came to my senses. This was back in '01. I was 25, and I just let this nutty ass girl, she was 21, almost fucked me over. And I came to my senses. I said, nah, can't do that. I can't be taking care of another nigga's kids. So later on, I realized there was obviously something wrong with her. That dude, I had to talk to the dude, and he was real like depressed about it. I'm not thinking to myself, dude, it ain't your fault. I really thought that. I'm thinking to myself, it ain't your fault. Now, no, later on in life, it's not that man's fault. And even I knew then, when I was 25, back in '01, it ain't your fault. There's something wrong with her. Instinctively, that's what I was thinking, and I'm right. If you know what I'm talking about, if you're watching this video, you know I'm talking to you. You know I'm talking about you and your kids, your 3 kids that you got now. I had to get away from that woman. Usually for the most part, I was trying to get that ass. She had nice ass. She was nice chocolate skin, beautiful. But in '02, I dated a woman, and she was I dated from '02 to '04, but she wanted me. She was sweet, and she seemed like she was the best woman in the world. My mama and them tried to tell me, this woman's trying to change you and this and that. She's trying to change you. She wants you to be something she wants you to be. And I think to myself, at that time I wanted to be somebody. But in a way, that still wasn't enough for her. But she still kept by me. She still kept by me, because deep down she was sweet. But then again, I screwed off. I still had that. I had to get what, still sleeping around with, so I was guilty for that. Because she rubbed me wrong way. I did a lot of freaking. I did a lot of that stuff. And I'm gonna tell you why. I was in a relationship basically from '02 to '04. Actually, from '02 to January 2 to July of '03. I proposed this woman in May '03, and I broke it off because I realized I wasn't being the man I need to be in July '03. So I said I can't do this no more. With that said, we was friends with benefits over the time. This was if you know who I'm talking about you. And from my mother passed back in '03, and she gave me some that day. This ain't the one with the baby mama. This is another one I was dating from '02 to '03. I'm talking about somebody else. But even she lingered around in that area. One with the baby mama lingered around. And the woman I was dating, I call her my ex. This was back in '03 and then from '03 to '05 we was friends with benefits. The woman that me and my ex was. And '05 I joined the military. Still having that simping mangina mentality. I met another woman in December of '03. And that was like me being a captain save a hoe. I was being a simp to her. I still had that simple mangina mentality. What a lot of women I was around. I was still that nice guy mentality. But finally, like '05 and '06, I had to realize a lot of these women. There are very few that want a good man, especially with black women. Very few women. There are very few black women that would value a black man. They'll value a man. They value that black man. Very few. I realized that very few. Most of these women at that age, 20s and 30s, want thugs. I'm telling y'all. That's not a myth. That ain't bullshit. There are some women that value black men. They're very, very few. Up in their 40s, they want thugs. In their 50s, but that's far and few. They still want Pookie and Black and them. Craig and Black and Ice and all them type of niggas, Ray and them. But that's them. But then again, later, in '07, I kept to myself. I try not to keep emotionally involved because I already knew the type of game women run. And here, May of '08, here comes this woman. Oh boy, thank Christ I broke up with her. This woman, she had one nutty kid, and people I was on a submarines, and these guys in my command said, break up with this woman now. Break up with this woman now. So I didn't listen. But I realize now, everybody tell me, break up with this woman now. This she got a little boy. Break up with this woman now. I didn't listen. I was trying to be a good man too, and I realized her attitude drove me off. And we had a baby together, but her belligerence, she did a lot of weed and everything. She was wired up. She was a nut. And she was a control freak. And she was very narrow-minded. And one of my big pet peeves in life, she was a narrow-minded control freaks. And I had to just stop that mess. I had to break up with her. I finally broke up with her early this year. I had enough. I had enough of that mess. And right now, we still talk from time to time, but I had enough. And that's why I resigned from being a captain save a hoe. I'm single and I'm blessed. But in this woman's mind, she still thinks we together. That's it. That's bullshit. I've never been married. I've never been married in my life. But I'm telling you, all these type of devices, that's my story why I stopped being a captain save a hoe. The point I'm trying to make with this video is why I stopped being one in the first place. From the late 90s to now. Actually, it started in the early 90s when we dating. But me not having them, not being used to women in the late 90s, you know, my early 20s, and I started to realize women, I had to learn that life experience. And what I learned in life is that a lot of women ain't worth it, especially with the feminism, being strong and independent, having all these kids and these different baby mamas and daddies. A lot of women ain't worth it. A lot of women want to control you. It ain't just black women, but you see most of that with black women. But the thing I learned is that a lot of women, you just cannot be a good man to them. You can kick it with them, but don't form any relationship with them. Crazy brother said it best. I can fuck a black woman, but I won't fuck with one long term. A lot of these black women, you can't fuck with them long term. Just can't do it. And it's just ain't it's mostly with black women, but that's women period, especially American women. That's mostly with women. You just can't, you can't follow woman's lead. Women are motion-based people. Women are motion-based people, and you can't follow them. Why women are like that? And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you how women are. Women play a lot of women. This is on you know who you are basis. A lot of women play the victim role. I think I covered this one in the first one. A lot of women play the victim role. Women are very emotional. They all they give a crap about is their emotions, and they use men, they use manginas and Simpson manginas to appease. They'll give them a little bit, but they'll appease. And it's been said in many videos from other people. But women appease men, and women take advantage of these men's egos. These guys all puffed up. Oh, finally give me some. Finally got a woman in my life. These women, a lot of these women, bottom line, a lot of these women, all they give a crap about is their emotions, their loneliness, and about themselves. And they just men that care about themselves, but and a lot of these women feel inferior because they'll blame men for everything. A lot of them will never take responsibility for their own actions. Those are the reasons why I understand. For that reason, when I think about it, I understand why women are the way they are, and a lot of them choose to be that way. That's why I'm telling folks, this is my story on why I retired from being a Captain Save-On. Because you just can't do it. Leave the women to the thugs. Leave the women to their emotions. Leave the women to other women. Let them worship their great God Tasha Mack, or their great God Angela Bassett, their great God Terry Macmillan, their great God of their God of feminism, their God of drama. Think about it. Why do you think women like soap operas? Women love drama. Mostly. For this, you know who you are. For those I'm talking about, you know who you are. Why do you think especially black women, they think they love watching soap operas, love watching Real Housewives of Atlanta? Because in their mind, women are very emotional. Guys, just stop it. Just think or consider being a Captain Save-A-Ho retiree. And just live your life. If you're not saved, get saved. Seriously. I'm not a religious person, I'm a realist. But that's my story on why I stopped being a Captain Save-A-Ho. Bottom line is, women are out for themselves. And guys that they come around with, they're just going to use them, suck them dry. Junebug Obama said it best. These women who are like that, they're drama queens, they don't fall out. And this on you know who you are. Drama queens, and they don't appreciate you, and they never will. Something to think about.